Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Our Kalorik broke down, so we got ourselves a new air fryer. The air fryer that we bought it from Costco. It's Gourmia. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it or pronouncing it right, but I'm going to be calling it Gourmia from here on out. It's got the French door look, just because we enjoyed the whole how it looked from the Kalorik. It's an XL model, and it's the digital air fryer oven. It's got a lot of things going on with it. It does air fry, it does toasting, baking, roasting, bagels, convention bake, broil, pizza, reheat, keeps warm, dehydrates, slow cook, and it does even popcorn. I mean, they're really pushing the popcorn. I mean, it's got like the top of it. Yeah, so this is what the front face kind of looks like, and I'm gonna just unbox it here real quick. It says it's got 19 cooking presets. Multiple level cooking, 6 of them. It's got the single pull French door situation going on. It's got a Fry Force 360 technology. I like the word technology because that's where we're going. We're going towards technology, right? Includes free download of 64-page recipe book. That's interesting. I wonder if it comes with one like the Kalorik did, or if you just have to download it, which is fine if you have to. It's no big deal. We all have a phone. XL capacity fits a large 15 inch pizza, 20 pound turkey. A 20-pound turkey. I don't really know how big a 20-pound turkey is. 12 slices of bread and 12 slices of bread. Is that a lot? Is that like a loaf that you can just shove in here? I guess we'll find out. And up to 15 by 13 pans. So, and it says right here, fries air for up to 80% less fat. I know why, because I already have some experience with the Kalorik. I know why they say, 80% less fat. It's not like it's doing anything important, but a lot of like, if you're cooking like something fatty up here, what tends to happen is a lot of the fat tends to drip down and it falls on your drip pan. And then all that fat stays down there and it doesn't go into you if you're a big fat anti-fat person. Anyway, so we're gonna unbox it. I have my trusty little knife right here. I am going to just place the blade ever so gently in one of these entrances here, and voila. Did you see that, guys? One stroke. It's very important that you do the one stroke. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit this guy up as well. If I can penetrate here. Oh, do I do the one stroke? I do the one stroke. And then we're gonna go ahead and lift this puppy up right here. Oh, did you see that, guys? I missed the one stroke. Oh, so bad, so bad. All right, so we're gonna open this guy up. And it's a pretty big box, very big box. Got some info, some social medias and things. So it does have something open to explore the world of healthy eating. Okay, and it's got a cooking chart. I guess it's gonna give you explanations. All right, so one thing I have some experience. This is neat, and this is a new thing for me, but I'm probably gonna recommend that. These charts and stuff are really nice at first, but then I think you're gonna just eventually just figure out your own settings. And there we have it. It took me a couple by myself. It took me a little work to get it out of the box because the clearance is extremely tight. So it's just a lot of shimmy back and forth, a lot of this. So if you're by yourself, that's what you're gonna have to do when you try to get it out of the box. If you're with somebody else, they can hold the box while you try to maybe yank it. You're not gonna be able to grab it from here because it was upwards. It was in this direction. It came out like that from the box, as you probably guys have seen already from the back. Oh my goodness. Let's see, there's a remove before first use little thingy here, a little plastic protector so the doors don't flap while it's in the box in case something happens. I would say just go ahead and just pull these a little bit, not too much pressure because we're not trying to break the doors, and just lift this guy up. I think it'll just come right out. Yeah, just like that. Boom. Now we can have our doors open. Okay, cool. There you go. Not bad, not bad. It came with this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up real quick because it's really shrunk wrap, real tight. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that open real quick. So here's our rack. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that guy in here. Let me see how this feels when it goes in there. There's a little play, that's good. It's not super tight to go in. That means it's, for me, this means that when you put it in here, it's gonna have some rub down here, but it's not gonna have a lot of rub right here. So that's nice. That's actually really nice. Here we have our drip pan. Like everything's just gonna fall in here. You take it out here. The idea is everything falls here and it's less mess for you guys, and we'll be able to clean up. We'll be able to clean up a lot better instead of cleaning down here. This is like, I believe they call this, if I recall from the Kalorik, this is like your crumb or your dust pan too. This is like your final level of protection. Okay, good. So you put this guy in here like this lip out like this. It fits comfortably in here. It doesn't move. Everything's gonna fall in here. Some stuff is gonna probably fall. No, actually this is, if you can see, there isn't like a piece of metal or anything like that. It's just the heating element with some protection over it. And then you put your drip pan. What I would believe is to put it right here, because you don't want anything to drip onto these heat elements. I'm not worried about a fire in here because this is all contained. But you definitely don't want a fire. That's just from my imagination, what I'm assuming would happen. This is the lowest rack, so I'm just gonna put it in the lowest possible place. So I'm thinking this is always going to be here, because I don't know why you would want to have this out of the fryer while these are exposed. And you shouldn't really worry about like heat not coming up, because this is, again, an air fryer, so there's like a fan at some point, and they got little heating elements up here as well. So I'm pretty sure that covering this up isn't going to be like a heat loss situation. Now this is actually our bread and butter. This is, we use this more than we actually use this, because here we put like little pieces of sausages. We put like everything goes in here. Burritos, bread, slices of bread, everything goes in here versus in here. We could use this, but I rarely use this guy. So this is probably going to be our bread and butter. This is probably going to get nice and dark and black with all the fat that's going to, like, you know, fall into it. Washing this is not like the best and most fun thing to do, but when it's cleaning, fun. This is, I wonder if this closes when I do this. I don't think it does. I think this actually goes in this way. Oh yeah. The reason why is if we go to the back, this humps out. This pops out. This looks like, oh, not a lot of space, but then all of a sudden there's like this caboose back here. It's got a big old booty over here, and this right here is shaped for that. So it's kind of dummy proof. You guys almost saw me make a mistake. I'm a big dummy, and I got it in just fine. I know this isn't a comparison video or anything like that, but honestly, when the Kalorik, if you guys go back to my first video on this channel, that thing had like so many different things, and honestly the only thing I ever really needed was the crumb pan, the grease pan, and the basket. This is neat and everything, I guess, because if you want to put something flat, I'm not really sure what I would use this for. Maybe for a pizza, because yeah, actually this would be good if I was making pizzas in here. The thing is, I also have a conventional oven. I have a big conventional oven, and I have like a stone and everything, so I usually don't do that there. But this thing is pretty big. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back real quick. So this is one of our 12 inches. I believe it's 12 inches. If we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe this is about 8 or 10 inches actually. This will give you a pretty good idea of how big this guy is. This is enormous. I think the box said 15 inches, and I believe it because this thing is really big. This fits in here comfortably. And I don't know, you're gonna have to figure out where you're gonna want it. At least I think I'm gonna have to figure it out by reading the instructions. Maybe I'll do some recipes and stuff like that with this guy as well. Oh, look at this, it's big. And look how far back it could go. All right, so my hand is like, I don't know, it's not the biggest hand. I have Asian hands, I'm half Chinese. So like my hands are really, really small, but it's deep. I'm not saying put it all the way back there. Obviously you're gonna want it, you know, somewhere in the middle. You wanna have good airflow, etc. But this is really big. I'm gonna do some comparisons to like something in the household that most people have, just so you can see how big this is. But this is pretty big. Go ahead and close this guy up. You can barely hear anything. That's nice. I mean, it's brand new. And they have these little nubs right here, these little like kind of rubber stoppers right here. And yeah, and then this is gonna get a lot of wear and tear for sure. Because the reason we got a brand new one for us was because our Kalorik, actually this arm right here, one of the arms on our Kalorik actually broke. Not from here and not from the rivet. It actually broke from right here. This sliced off on our Kalorik. And what happens is when that sliced off, this guy, kind of like an Achilles tendon, kind of snapped in here. And when it snapped in there, what happens is this door functions with this in tangent. They both work together. You see, I'm making one work with the other. So when this breaks, your door here basically stays either stuck or you have to, you know, finagle with it. So that's a bummer. And that's what happened to ours. And well, we had to get a new one. But the cool thing is that this Gourmia in Costco is on sale right now. It's November 4th, 5th, something like that when this posts. I don't know when, but it's on sale, and it was like about half the price of the Kalorik. And this is already feeling like it's going to be even bigger than the Kalorik. We're going to actually put it maybe side by side because it's still in the house. So we're just going to maybe put it on top, and you guys can see how much this one is in comparison. And we're probably going to cook something. I'll go ahead and show you how it runs and how it, you know, does what it's supposed to do. And yeah, we'll do that. There's nothing else that came with this besides the pamphlets and stuff and everything you saw here. If you guys have ever used an air fryer, this is gonna feel very familiar, very familiar. You're just gonna have to turn it on, do the thing. So I'll go ahead and mess around with it, cook a couple things in it, feel her out, and then I'll go ahead and show you what I've learned in what little process and time that I got with it. Okay. All right. So I'll be back, and I'll be back to show you guys that. All right, so here's our baby, our Kalorik. It's not the Kalorik Maxx or anything like that. I was considering buying the Kalorik Maxx, but we shop a lot in Costco, and when we saw this, when we were just walking by it, we're like, hey, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. It felt bigger when we were at the store, especially the box, but this we didn't realize it was going to be that much bigger. I mean, if you look at this, it feels like you can fit the Kalorik inside this guy. So the Gourmia is pretty dang big. I believe this one only goes up to 450, and this one goes up to 500, and that's why I initially purchased this, because I wanted the most heat for my unit. But after 3 years of using this guy, we never really went over 450 consistently. Like we would usually be at like 400 max, really. So I believe there's not too many uses for us in our household. We're very common people. We're not baking or doing some extract. I don't know what you would need 500 for, but I'm pretty sure we didn't need that. So this is a comparison of how big it is, and you can see it from the back, how this one sticks out. It actually gives you even more room than this one did. I mean, this one only goes out to this much, and honestly, this one even sticks out even further. And there's still more room in the front if we go almost all the way back. Is this all the way back? Almost? It's about all the way back, right? Look at that. Yeah, this guy's a lot bigger. All right, guys. I figured since the box had such a big display of the popcorn, we can look at using the popcorn preset. Apparently, it's pretty darn easy. The first step it says is it wants us to turn the oven on, hit the popcorn presetting, and then it's gonna go into like a preheat. And when it does the preheat, it's gonna beep at us, and then it's gonna say like add food in its little face here, little faceplate here. And then after that, we're supposed to add these together. So this is gonna be kind of interesting. It's gonna want us to pour this guy in here. And while it's preheating, this isn't even gonna be in there. After we poured the half a cup of kernels dry, it doesn't say to add anything special either. These are dry. Look, my hands are, I'll show it to you when I do it. It wants us to put it in upside down, the little basket upside down, and they're just going to pop in here, and the basket's gonna catch them. So they don't go flying all over the place. So that is really neat and interesting. I never even thought that you could make it like that. First thing I'm gonna do is take this out, close these doors, and turn it on. So I turned it on, I got my on. Then I'm gonna get my popcorn, and it's gonna give me a 5-minute cool down. I guess, did it say start? Hey, tap start. And there you go. Now it's at preheat. One thing I do want to note is that there is no light inside. You guys saw when I opened the doors, there is no light. All you have is a heating element, and there's no light in there. So that shouldn't be really a deal breaker, because I don't know. It's kind of neat when you can see it, but I think the novelty wears out after a few uses, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. All right, guys, so I stayed here the entire time as it was doing its preheat, and the one thing it did for those 5 minutes, it didn't actually go down. So the preheat is not something that you could walk away from, or you can, but it's only a few minutes long. And I guess it's starting, but I'm going to go ahead and add the dry kernels. I'm gonna place this as it is on the rack number 6. Ooh, that is very hot. Okay. Rack number 6. It has enough space for both of these to go in together. Closing it up. And that's it. Now, I did lose a minute, but I think I can add a minute. Oh, just like that. I lost a minute, add a minute. No big deal, whatever. So what I'm assuming that's gonna happen here is, if you guys don't know how popcorn works, is apparently there's like a little bit of moisture inside the kernel. And when that reaches its boiling temperature, it wants to expand, and it wants to escape the kernel. And so what happens is it explodes, and when it explodes, you get popcorn. I actually looked that up a couple years ago, and I just have that fact in my head, I guess, for no reason. But I got to share it with you guys today here. And I think that's what it's gonna do, because again, there's no liquids in here. There wasn't any oil. I didn't coat it with anything, and that's what I'm assuming. Once it hits that temperature, I believe that's what it's gonna start doing. It's gonna start bursting. I've never used it in a conventional oven or a air fryer, so this is gonna be interesting. I'm actually watching this per every second. I'm very curious to see how this works. Oh, just like that. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. That's neat. That is really neat. I was not expecting it to work just like that. These are kernels you can buy basically anywhere, Costco or ShopRite or wherever you guys, buy your food. And yeah, they're just popping. They're doing their business. Now the ingredient. You guys don't know me very well, but I'm kind of an envelope pusher. So this said half a cup. I'm pretty sure at one point I'm gonna try a full cup or more, just to see if I can get away with making more. But yeah, this is neat. This is happening, guys. This is And it's caged really well. Look at the clearance on that. They're not escaping. These little guys are gonna explode in here and they're gonna stay in here. We got 1 minute and 30 seconds left, so. Oh guys, this is dope. It's working. It's working. Hi Pepper. Hi. Hi. You want some popcorn too? Oh my goodness. I was gonna, yeah, I agree with you. I think I was gonna put more than a half a cup, but look, this thing looks top. It's.
I think they did the test kitchen.
Yeah, I think they did.
They
test kitchen did. I like it. They definitely, yeah. It's on, but okay. So this Gourmia, it actually has like a cooldown. It takes like about a minute or so, and it actually shuts down. Hey, Pickles is here. Hi, Pix. Hi, Pickles and Pepper both want popcorn. It's actually bursting off the top. It's pushing, so that is pretty dope. What's that?
I was wondering if the ones that popped initially were going to like get
burn.
Yeah.
And they don't look like it, right?
No.
All right, so this says to be careful. This says to be careful when you open it.
Going. Smells good.
Yep. I think it's good. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pop these out. We're gonna pause real quick. All right, so it's only been a few seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. And actually it did burn some of them. It did burn some of them. It was maybe there for a little too long. Maybe the temperature doesn't need to be that high, but I do see a couple that did get burnt. Maybe were the initial ones. Maybe we spoke too soon. But for the most part, a lot of them were done. So these guys in the back, I think the Gourmia and the Kaloriks, all of them, all the little, the types of air fryers that do this kind of thing, they get really hot in the back. I'm starting to assume. I'm starting to see a pattern here because these got burnt and these are not.
Here too, they're a little bit.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On the edges.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take my bowl here and show you. Some of these did get a little bit overheated or a little burnt. So that might be bad. So maybe we test it out with another batch later, and some of them obviously didn't make it, but that's everything. Even a Jiffy Pop or something like that will always have some extras. The burnt could be from just the too long of duration and stuff. Yeah, I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to play with the setting. Instead of being 400, maybe we're gonna do it for 350, and we're gonna see if it works, and maybe we'll get less burnt kernels. Okay, so we did it again, and I actually lowered the temperature to 350, and the backs got a little hot. They got a little burnt, just a little bit, and the fronts were actually starting to get a little, if I can find some, far and few in between. The duration was a little less. I forgot exactly how much. So I would suggest if you guys were to make your popcorn, preheat it and then put it in at 350, because this is at 400, it's pretty dang high. And then just go ahead and keep an eye on it. As soon as it stops, the Kalorik, I keep calling it Kalorik, the Gourmia says to leave this so it cools down a little bit for 2 minutes or something like that. I would just open it up immediately so it just doesn't, you don't burn everything in there. The door is actually like here. Make sure you handle the doors by the handles, because this gets hot and the top gets hot, like really hot. So I would suggest you guys not, if you're gonna get this model, you guys should not have any, you guys shouldn't know that you don't want to have to put anything on top. Right now what I have on top of this, okay good, is the regular one of the racks to give it a gap, and then the drip pan or the baking pan is what I took it out on, and I just put it on top. But don't put anything plastic or anything that could melt or catch on fire. It gets hot. This right now, muy caliente. Don't like it. So the Kalorik didn't do that. But I'm just giving you guys a fair warning, because you know we like to put like this plastic thing that holds our little tongs and holds some things, and we just like to leave that like that or whatever. But that right there will not be good there, because eventually it'll just be like a melted. Anyway, so play with the setting. If you play with the setting, you'll eventually figure it out. I think Not everything's perfect, even though, you know, they give you a recipe for it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.